Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Yorkshire Gamer's monthly Wargames update. And we are in January 2023, a new year, so happy new year to everyone. I hope you had some great celebrations and you still not got a headache. And usual features coming up today. I've got back into painting a little bit after last month's madness with the podcast, etc. So without further ado, let's go and get in and have a look at the things that we've painted. So first up, work in progress from last month, and this is the 28mm Perry miniatures, the sold as Franco-Prussian War chasseurs à pied. I've painted them for my 1867 Battle of Mentana project. 24 figures, 4 6-figure bases. Bases are 60 by 60. My usual thing, regular viewers will know, just to protect the muskets or rifles in this particular case of the figures. And I have to say, with these Perry's French, the chassepots is very, very thin, which I know is realistic, but I've had a lot of problems with bending and paint flaking as a result. In fact, I can see that lad's bent already. So just a word of warning if you're using these figures. Still waiting for the plastic ones to come out. I need to do 4 line battalions, the same size as this, to complete my French for Mentana, and some guns as well. But I can't do those until they've been released. So if you remember, in December I did a little skirmish line with 6 figures. Again, same. So that is the completed unit for the French chasseurs à pied. Very nice. I shall just zoom in and have a look at some of the bases in a little bit more detail. So here we have the standard bearer base, and as you can see, I've got a flag on there. Probably weren't carried in the field by the chasseurs à pied, but hey, really cool and all that. Really, really nice flag from Maverick Models, and it is specifically for, just swing that around, the 2nd Battalion of the Chasseurs à pied, which are the ones who were at Mentana. So that's really nice. I've been able to model the actual unit that was there with the flag, and just twist these round. Really nice poses, as you would expect from Perry's. Very similar in pose, so it looks like more of an old school unit where the figures used to all be the same. And then we've got the backpacks, and what a load of kit they're carrying, absolutely massive. Just a word about the colour of the backpacks for the pendants out there. They're shown as brown and black, and there's a reenactment group in France that do this particular period, and contacted them, and they've got black. All their stuff is black, so any complaints, please go and visit them, because they know a lot more than I do. So there we go, that's one of the bases, and then we'll just bring this lad up here, which is the command base, and then we've got an NCO with a field pennant. Relatively easy to do, the uniform, it's all one colour. After all, the piping's a bit of a pain in the backside, and for that I've used a tan yellow, which is quite a light yellow, but it's got quite a thick pigment, so it covers. And then over the top of that, I've done a very fine run of Vallejo flat yellow, just to bring out the yellow in the colour on the highlights. So there we go, that's the first unit I've done, and I actually have done a bit of painting this month, so let's go to the next one. So here's the second unit I've done this month, and these are from my War of Spanish Succession, or Malburian as I prefer to call it, and these are a unit of Savoyard infantry, and we'll just flip their bases up. Monferrato, yeah, Yorkshire pronunciation again. And this is the I've done a guard and a Swiss unit for the Savoy Army, and this is my first line unit. Now, you know the story if you've watched before. I've got thousands of figures lying around from a purchase years ago, and these figures in this unit are actually new ones. The poses that I don't know when they came out, but between 20 years ago when I bought the project and now when I'm actually doing it. So there's a firing pose, and if you look at the unit, you should be able to see that it's never easy to get depth and focus in one. Front rank are firing, and then the rear rank behind are in a high port position, which some people on the internet said they don't like. I think in this context they do. I can imagine this battalion, front rank are firing, they'll fire and withdraw, and then you've got your rifle in the high, musket in the high port position, move forward, drop it down to horizontal, bang, fire. So that's what I like about this. It gives the battalion a bit of life, if you like. It's not everybody doing the same thing. We've got fire by rank going on. So that's my thinking. Flags are from Maverick Models, who I've done a review of on the YouTube channel if you want to have a look at what they do. Some fantastic stuff in any scale, but very good for smaller scale stuff. Lots of obscure stuff that you might not find anywhere else. So well worth a visit. So we're going to go off the land and onto the sea, because everything else I've painted this month, apart from these, is naval based. So for the second part of the finished stuff, we're moving back to the 1/700th World War II naval project, which I'm kind of addicted to at the moment. I've got loads of stuff brewing for this, and I'm just enjoying painting and building and making these. So this is one of the finished projects for this month, and this is a Liberty ship, and this is John W. Brown. It's what the kit is sold at, and I decided to do this one in a straight grey. Lots of weathering, obviously. It's got a hard life as the ship, going backwards and forwards between the States and the UK, or over to Russia, wherever it's going, and it's been a joy to do. So we'll just move it around. Had some questions on the internet about whether the cargo booms would be open at sea, and it's a good point. But this is how the model comes, number one, and then number two, cursory search the internet, and I found thousands of pictures of Liberty ships out at sea with the booms extended. So there you go. I'm sticking with this because I can't be bothered to change it. I want to get these ships. I think a lot of people who comment are modelers who are seeing this and thinking, "Oh, this is a Wargames piece." So I'm not trying to do clever conversions and show off my modelling skills. I'm trying to get stuff on the table for a game. So this is, as I say, the Liberty ship, and I don't know whether this will work or not, but let's zoom in, and we're at the height of magnification there, and I don't know whether you can see, but there's some guys on the deck. And that is them doing the YMCA. It's really it's the best I could do for YMCA in 1/700th scale. And then if we look on the deck, there's a couple of guys there, and another one at the back. And it's just really an experiment for me. There's some guys manning that gun at the front of the ship as well, and it was very much an experiment for me. Just to see what I could do with the ship crew. I've not done it on any of the other ships so far, but I will do. I'm just getting into it. I'm trying to use them and use them cleverly, and it's something I've not done before, so we shall see more of crew in the future. So there's one ship, and the next ship that came out of the build yard is this one, and this is HMS Eskimo, a tribal class destroyer. And first tribal class I've done. These are probably the best British destroyer of the war. 4 twin 4.7-inch guns, call them 5-inch. They brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Lots damaged and destroyed in the war, which just shows how at the forefront of the action they were. So we'll do a little twirl, Anthea, as we go around and talk about this. The turrets aren't movable on these. Some of them have like a little rubber socket that the turret drops into and makes it movable and secure, whereas these don't. This particular model didn't have that. So it's a trumpeter model, first trumpeter model I've made, and I'm very impressed with them. Lots of nice detail, some very small parts, but I get it that, you know, these are for modelers, not for wargamers. And I'm so looking forward to playing games on a regular basis with these ships, because they just look... I know I've painted them myself, and I shouldn't be blowing smoke up my own bum, but I just love these, and I'm just so happy with how they've come out. And it's a real shame that naval wargaming isn't as popular, because I put pictures of these up. You know, it's not a popularity contest, I get that, but what I'm trying to do is share my enthusiasm for World War II naval. And I put a picture of one of these up on Instagram, 100, put 100 likes or whatever, 100 watches, and then you put it again up on, you put an Italian Wars picture up with lots of flags and horses and stuff, bang, 1,500, 2,000. So it's a shame, because I think these are well worth a look at. And the third and final thing I'll finish this month is this bad boy, and this is a Aoshima. I can never tell the difference between Aoshima and Tamiya. Please tell me in the links below if you know. And this is HMS Javelin, and that comes from a book that I've just purchased, which I've left downstairs, unfortunately, which is Mal Wright's British Camouflage of Destroyers, etc. at World War II. And this is HMS Javelin. As I say, I wasn't sure about this deep Mediterranean blue. It's the right colour. Well, according to Vallejo, it's the right colour. But it's really, really, really grown on me. And I particularly like this ship. It's just a little bit crazy, a little bit bright, but yeah, great. As with the other ships, really, really enjoy this. So this is HMS Javelin, HMS Eskimo, and a Liberty ship done this month. I'm trying, in between everything else, to do one of these a week. They take about 3 or 4 hours to build, and I build them in small sections and then paint them up. And if you're watching the Build the Bismarck series, you'll see my process on there, and I'll do another one of those build videos with the destroyer once the Bismarck's finished. But there we go, that's everything I've painted this month so far, and it's time to pop along and look at work in progress. Here we are with Work in Progress, and something you'll be very familiar with if you like Yorkshire Gamer, and that is the Italian Wars. And saw last month with all the stuff that was ready to go for the Analog Hobbies Winter Paint Challenge, that I've got a load of stuff primed and ready to go. But I just got sidetracked with those ships, and the chassis took me forever as well, and my painting mojo was kind of dipping, but we're on the way back up again, hopefully, at the moment, and seeing what I've painted this month. So this is what's currently in progress, and these are 28mm Perry's, well, the Wars of the Roses Mercenaries painted up as early Italian Wars, and these are going to be 2 mini units of shot for my Swiss pipe blocks, which is just something that I forgot to do at the time, and there's a big gaping hole in my storage box for these, so I've decided to get these done and dusted. So we'll just take the box out of the way and we'll have a look at these. These 2 bases are complete, apart from the basing. which is yet to be done. So we'll bring the light up and have a look at these. They're done in red and yellow as a basic idea. I tend to not do anything uniform. I just tend to have a use a colour palette of whatever the flags of the particular canton. So they will go very nicely with the pipe block that I've already got going. And then we've got a command figure and three guys with arquebus there. So I've done arquebus because I've got crossbow for the other half of the I'm just trying to think now. It's 96 figures. There we go. It's very strange for a pipe block. And then if you see the three stripes on the guy's arm, yes, that is a joke. It's Adidas. So there we go. So that's those guys. They are done and dusted and just waiting to be have the basing done, and then the remainder are all. I've just done the very basic tinny tin, my base coat for metals. So that's just started these, and rather than spending 25 or 30 quid on a Citadel holder thing, I've got an old Pepsi Max bottle top with some blue tack on. So that's how that's ready to go, and there's 8 of those, and I think I would finish those fairly quickly. So that's work in progress. Hopefully we will keep on this momentum, and we'll have lots more to show you next month. So let's have a look and see what we've spent. I'll watch. So let's have a look what we've been spending the pennies on this month. And first up is this bad boy. Another 1/700 scale ship. Admiral Graf Spee from right at the start of the war. And just bought this on an impulse really. I was over in Halifax and accidentally fell into the model shop there, which is brilliant. If you don't know, if you live locally to Yorkshire or you're ever in the Halifax area, go into Halifax Modeller's World. They've got loads and loads and loads of kits. It's a massive, classic sprawling shop full of kits everywhere. Kits on the floor waiting to be put on the shelves. There's a load of gaming stuff in there. There's a load of Plastic Soldier Company. There's loads of Victrix stuff. There's Perry stuff in there. There's Deus Vult stuff in there. No Games Workshop. Get yourself down. Loads of paints to choose from as well. So if you're in Halifax, little plug for them there because they're brilliant. So I was in Halifax, and you don't go into a model shop and come out with out, do you? So I picked this up, and yeah, I'm sure I'll buy 3 British heavy cruisers to go with it, and do that battle. Can't remember the name of it. Anyway, there we go. So keeping on the ship theme, I've picked this up. I'm going to do a proper review of this, but British and Commonwealth warship counterflag World War II, and this is destroyers, frigates, escorts, minesweepers, little stuff, and fantastic book. And I'll just flick to a random page on this just to give you an idea of what you get. Each page, and I mean each page of this massive book, has got 6 pictures of a ship in whatever paint scheme they've got. So you can see here we're looking at minesweepers. This is a book that covers all the smaller stuff, the destroyers and stuff, which is kind of what I'm painting at the moment. And you can see there we're looking at sloops and everything. So I'll do a full review of that at a later stage, but that's highly recommended by me. Certainly for the stuff that I'm doing, you know, I'm picking a ship out. I'm thinking, oh, what I'm going to do that as. And I'm looking for a good camouflage scheme for a ship that I know about. And again, for pendants, it's not always going to be that this ship was next to that ship on this particular day. I'm just building some units for a game. So that's that. Very enjoyable. Now, there was a £300. If you spent £300 at Wargames Foundry over Christmas, you got a 25% discount. Yeah, that was me. So that's what £300 worth of cardboard looks like. And of course, in true Wargamer style, you save 25%, so you spend an extra 25%. But you know, you just get more figures, don't you? So I'll put these out of the way, and we'll bring them up. Oh, Jesus, that's heavy. One at a time. And apologies for delay. I put them on top of graph spray, and it wasn't going to take the weight. So we'll talk about these in a minute. But what I've done is I've bought an absolute shed load of heavy cavalry, and these are from Casting Room Miniatures, which is kind of part of Wargames Foundry, but it's a part that is stuff that they don't sell as part of the normal Foundry range. So I think these were part of a range called Condottieri, which might have come out with the French with the Frank Chadwick rules, but they do a huge range, loads and loads of different types of I'm just trying to get that in focus. Loads of different types of infantry, cavalry, etc. for the period. Very nice as well. They are too little bit wooden with the poses, bit of old school, and the armour, some of it seems a little bit fantasy-like, but hey. So I'm going to use these primarily as Spanish for the Spanish that I'm building at the moment. So if I'll just put those back and open the box again. So each one of these bags is the same as that one. It's got 3 cavalry. I'll do a full unboxing of these to go through the different types and stuff on a different occasion, and a full video. But there's that box there, which has got 1, 2, 3, 4 units of heavy cavalry. Then we've got this one, which has got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of heavy cavalry. And finally, Esther, another shed load. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in there. So lots of them. But you know me by now, I don't do stuffs by halves. So this will be, like I say, it'll be my Spanish heavy cavalry. Possibly I might do some as Imperialists. We shall see, because I'm thinking ahead towards Pavia. And then the final thing that's come in are these from my mate Ian at Flags of War. Bless him. And these are some of his Spanish range. These are to go in addition to the stuff that I got from Pete's Flags. And Ian's done a cracking job, as he always does with these. With these Spanish flags, Spanish crosses, you can make your own. You decide what colours you want in terms of the cross and the background. So we've got red and yellow, red and white. Some Italian flags for the Garibaldi project, because I needed 4 flags to finish that off. And then obviously I've got loads of these. And fantastic they are too. So there we go. There's the Flags of War stuff that's going to go on my Colonellas and not on my cavalry, these, because they're too big. But I'll mix those in with the Pete's Flag stuff just to make individual units. So there we go. That is what we've spent our brass on this month. No wargaming this month, unfortunately. Been tied up last month with the podcast and everything. I've been really, really tied up with everything. So it's straight to Scores on Doors. Okay, everyone, and welcome to the Scores on the Doors bit. Just my look at Yorkshire Gamer in general, and first up is the Scores on the Doors. Up 38 on Facebook, 1773. Is that an American Revolution thing? Not quite, is it? Twitter's 2637, up 31. Just 5 on Instagram. That's stalled massively after my huge jump. I'll have to do some more Morris dancing in a bikini to get that up again. YouTube's 1795, slow and steady. I've not done much on there this month, so no surprises there. Podcast up 5, and the Facebook group is now over 1,000. So once again, as I say every month, thank you very much for following Yarkshire Gamer wherever you do it. If you don't follow one of the other ones, if you don't listen to the podcast, I get loads of comments that say I don't watch podcasts. You don't watch podcasts, you listen to podcasts. You have them on in the background, they don't distract you, you don't have to sit down and ignore everything else and watch them. They're on in the background while you're painting or pottering in your Wargames room. Podcast on, if you get it on Podbean or Apple Podcasts, there isn't anything to look at. So it's a lot easier, a lot less confusing. So we'll have our usual shout out and quick rundown of what's been going on Yorkshire Gamer. The channel shout out this month is for JD Brick Productions, and if you haven't seen these, they are an absolute wonderful stop image set of videos done with Lego characters, and you've got to watch the sinking of the Bismarck one. It is absolutely superb, and lots of great stuff in there, so give that a follow and a like if you've not seen it already. On my own podcast, this was just one that wasn't mentioned last month, and that was right at the end, just before New Year, and that was the Yorkshire Gamer Awards 2022, the Golden Puddings. And as you can probably guess, they're not particularly serious at all, and I'm joined by my good friends Alex Sutherland and Sean Clark as we pick up things like the most useless Wargames gadget of 2022 and the best Wargames troll. So tune into that if you've not done already. It's on Podbean and YouTube now. Then I did a review of the Assault Group and their 28mm Italian War Spanish. Very similar to the review I did on the North Star figures that are for the same period and scale. And I should be painting those up over the next couple of months. So it will be interesting to see how the two ranges compare once they're painted up and based into a complete Spanish Colonella. So there's something to look forward. And finally, the other video that I had out this month is the Building the Bismarck Part 5. And this is my least popular by a long way. But I don't know, maybe when I get to the end, people will go back and have a look at the process. But the ships that you've seen on here, I'm kind of building, obviously, the Bismarck. And going through the various processes and stages, doing that in little short 10-15 minute videos, so hopefully they're of interest to you. So it's back down to the wet end of the table for the outro. Thanks again for watching and following everything that goes on at Yorkshire Gamer. We'll be back in a month's time in February. Hopefully I will have got my gaming mojo back. My gaming mojo came and my painting mojo went, and now my painting mojo's coming back and my gaming's gone. We'll get there in the end, won't we? So thank you again for watching. I hope you have a great month. And if you are at Vapentak, the show, the unpronounceable show in York, I shall be there with my Yorkshire Gamer t-shirt on. Come and say hello. And I shall be purchasing something there, I'm sure. It's usually a great day out, and I get to meet loads of people I know in the hobby. So, and Wargames Press, there's a show in the north of England. Did you know that? Amazing. God, us Northerners, we got our shows and we spend money. As we haven't got those tappy card things up here yet. We're still, we still bring a trailer along with some sheep to exchange for our figures. Not like down south where you have them big shows and stuff. Oh dear, I can feel the emails coming in already. Right, so thanks again for watching. I'll see you next month. Sithee.